One area which you're definitely not cutting is schools. We've got £2.5 billion of investment here. Catch-up classes are going to pay for lowering class sizes. All good stuff, but here's the thing. No one asked us a question about this. No one asked us a question. No one was concerned about investment in schools. So why is it so important to you?
Because if you don't give every child when they're young the education they deserve, you cannot live in a fair country. We now live in a country where all the evidence suggests that a poor but bright child, very bright child, full of potential, could be the next Nobel Prize winner in physics, is overtaken in the classroom by a less bright but wealthier child by the age of 7. And the gap after that tends to widen. So the less bright child ends up going to university, gets a good job, buys a nice house, has a good life. The bright child, was bright once, is left behind. Ends up in worklessness, in the criminal justice system, in poor housing and so on. I'm a liberal. I believe that the country most people want to live in is one where how long you live, how well you do, what job you do, what university you go to, isn't determined by the circumstances of your birth. If you're bright, if you've got something, if you've got potential in you, we should have an education system which releases that potential. And at the moment it doesn't. That's what the people premium is about. You say people don't care about it. Parents, I'm a parent of young children. People care passionately, probably more than anything else, about the idea that their children, all children, get the best education they deserve.
Charlotte G. raises the question of university tuition fees,
Yep.
Which she previously committed to scrapping. She wants to know whether that policy is still plausible in the current economic climate.
What is not plausible is what we had initially proposed before the crisis, before Lehman Brothers went belly up and the world changed irretrievably. And that is to abolish tuition fees overnight. That will cost a lot of money overnight, and we've levelled with people, levelled with students, and say we can't deliver that anymore. What we have said is we think it can be done. It'll take more than one parliament. It would take 6 years. And so, for instance, it would start in year 1 by removing the tuition fees for undergraduates in their first degree in their last year of study. And then we would expand it over time to other years and so on. But, I mean, it can't be done overnight anymore, no.
Do you remember at last year's autumn conference when you were discussing this issue in front of delegates, one shouted out to you, weasel words. How big a priority are tuition fees really for you?
Well, it's hugely important. I think if someone who's now starting university is likely to leave university with a heavy weight of debt of £24,000 around their neck. I used to teach at university. I've got countless students and people who work in university in my own constituency. But when I speak to them week in, week out as an MP in Sheffield, I know the one thing they want more than anything else is candour, is honesty about what we can and cannot deliver. I don't think they're going to buy, and nor should they buy, blandishments and promises from politicians that don't recognise that the world has changed, that money is tight, and therefore something as big as abolishing tuition fees will take a little longer than we'd initially proposed.